ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, welcome back to this class, the new Muslims class, level 1 class. May I know before we begin, any newcomer, first timer? 1, 2, 3. Okay, any not yet Muslim? 1, 2, 3. Okay, this class is normally conducted by Sheikh Hussein Yi. Right, today I think we have a Salat class, so I'm his student, Adam Wu. So I'll be sitting in, inshallah. So we are following a website called newmuslims.com. Right, this newmuslims.com. We use level 1, okay, for this class. So this class will start at about 11:15 and finish about 12. And then there will be a level 2 class, which is more advanced class. Right? For those who have done level 1, then we would recommend you to go for level 2 class. Right? Or for those who have become Muslims for a period of time, then you want to acquire more details of the religion, then level 2 will be a more advanced class for you. Right? In this class, we'll talk about the fundamentals of the religion, right? Like the 5 pillars of Islam, the 6 articles of faith, right? What is Shahada, things like that. Right? And the way I conduct the class is you can ask questions at any time. Right? Don't wait. Or we can do it at the end of the class also. Right? So today, we're going to talk about belief in the Day of Judgment. Right? The prerequisite for these lessons is that you must have at least know the pillars of Islam. How many pillars of Islam? Oh, sorry, I also ask questions. How many? 5, mashallah, 5. So, what are the 5 pillars of Islam? Shahada, number 1. Declaring your testimony of faith, right? Establish your 5 times prayers a day, right? Any different opinion? Pay the zakah, inshallah. Right? We pay the zakat. Aqim as-salah wa atu zakah. Right? After salah, you pay the zakat. And then after number 4, fasting in the month of Ramadan. And then the last one is perform Hajj in Mecca. Right? Okay. So as you can see, the 5 pillars, right? The 1 and 2, you do it every day, because in your prayer you have to also declare your shahada, right? The 3 and 4, you do it every year. You pay your zakat every year. You fast every year, right? And then the last one is you do it once in your lifetime, which is performing the Hajj. And out of the 5 pillars of Islam, the zakat, the fasting, the Hajj, some may be doing it, some may not do it, depending on your situation. If you're sick, you cannot fast. If you're poor, you don't have to pay zakat. If you don't have money and you're also sick, you don't have to perform Hajj. But the salah, everyone has to do. Except the ladies, you get some holidays. Right? For the men, you pray until you die. There is no exception. Even if you go to war, you still have to pray. Right? So, as you can see, the prayer is very important. Right? The 2nd pillars of Islam, after you declaring the Shahada, is very, very important. Right? The second thing that we need to know is the articles of faith. How many articles of faith? 6 articles of faith. So 5 and 6, right? Okay. Number 1, believe in Allah. Number 2, believing in the angels. Number 3, believing in the holy books, okay? Number 4, all the messengers, right? All the prophets and messengers. Then number 5, this one, So this is the number 5, right? Then the last one is, we call it divine predestination, right? So these are the 6 articles of faith, and today we're going to talk about the 5th one, okay? Inshallah. So the objectives, there are 4 here. To learn what the belief in life after death entails. Alright? So we need to learn about what does it mean by believing in the Day of Judgment. What does it mean? Right? Number 2, to learn some of the major events that will take place on the Day of Judgment. What are the things will take place? What are the events on the Day of Judgment? And to learn about the types of intercession that will be granted on the day. And the last one is to understand the nature of paradise and hell. Right? These are the 4 things we're going to cover today. As you can see, we have a lot to cover. Inshallah, we can finish this by 12. When I go through the lessons, we really have a lot to go through. And in each of the lessons, we will be introduced with some of the new the Arabic terms. Right? In these lessons, we're going to learn about Sunnah. So for those who are not yet Muslim, or you just become Muslims, you always hear this Sunnah. You always hear people talk about this. Right? Especially the Malay, right? They say Sunnah, or they say Sunnah, right? Same, right? So what does it really mean, right? The word Sunnah has several meanings, depending on the area of study. However, the meaning is generally accepted to be whatever was reported that the Prophet said, did, or approved, right? We talked about this before, I think, right? Whatever the Prophet said, did, or approved. What does it mean by proof? Proof means he didn't say it, but he didn't do it, but he saw someone do it in front of him, and he was silent about it. Silent about it means what? He approved it. Because as a prophet, if something haram is done in front of him, he must say it. He will say, hey, oh no, you cannot do this. This is haram. This is prohibited. You cannot do this. This is wrong. But if it's not wrong, he will just silence it. Means it's approved. We call it tacit approval. Approved, all right? So this is what we call Sunnah. So when someone says Sunnah, means either he has done it before, or he has said it before, or he has approved it before. Right? Then it means we as Muslims can do it, no problem. Right? Simply stated, there will be a day when God will resurrect and gather the first and the last of His creation and judge everyone justly. People will enter the final abode, hell or paradise. Okay, so to simply put it, right, there will be a day when Allah, He will resurrect all of us, meaning after the end of the world, He will resurrect all of us, and then He will judge us. He will be the judge on the Day of Judgment. Right? And the final destination is either hell or paradise. There is no in between. Right? Or there will not be second chance as well. Right? So belief in the Day of Judgment, in my personal opinion, I think this is one of the greatest belief for any human being. Because without this belief, then what is the point of doing good? And what is so bad of doing bad things? I can do bad things and just run away. Now you always read news about this guy going to the house, kill everyone, and then he shot himself. He said, I done all the bad things? I also go. Bye. Because he doesn't believe there is a Day of Judgment. Right? He thinks he can just run away from all these things. Right? And there are also people who do a lot of good things, and then after a while he said, wow, what's the point of doing this? I don't get appreciated. People don't praise me. I don't get reward. So I stopped doing it. But if you have a belief in the Day of Judgment, it's easy. You keep on doing good. Even people don't praise you, people don't appreciate you, you know on the Day of Judgment Allah will reward you. True or not? And if you do bad things, you know you cannot run away. There will be a Day of Judgment. that you will be held accountable. You will be asked, and you will be shown what you have done. So this belief is very much, very important. To me, it's very, very important. Otherwise, human beings can do whatever they want to do. Class, do whatever you want to do. Right. So let's start with the first section here. Belief in the events of the grave, because before there will be a day of judgment, we will have to go through the life in the graveyard first. Right? Muslims believe that after a person dies, the second intermediate phase of life begins. Many events will take place in this new world. One of the first events is the trial of the grave. Everyone will be questioned by angels about their religion, prophet, and Lord. Now, when we die, when we are buried, every one of us, the angels will come and ask questions. He'll ask you, who is your Lord? And then he'll ask you, who is your prophet? And what is your religion? And the scholar says, when you're in the graveyard, the only way you can answer the angels is when you have true iman, the true belief. Then you will answer. It's not like, oh, you're here, you know the answer already, okay, I have the cheat sheet, I write it down and bring it to my graveyard. When you ask me, what? I know already. No. You will only be able to answer when you have the true belief. You will be able to answer. The disbeliever, they won't be able to answer. Yeah. Or the munafiq, the hypocrites, they won't be able to answer. Only the real believers, the true mu'min, will be able to answer these three questions. Even though it looks very easy, right? Very easy question. Come on. Today, anyone asks you, you can answer. But in the graveyard, when the angels come, the angels doesn't come with smiley faces. Right? So it will be the toughest test. Second, a Muslim should also believe in the punishment and the bliss of grave. Basically, a Muslim must believe in the details of the events that will take place in the grave as they have come in the Quran and Sunnah. And secondly, we must believe there is actually punishment, real punishment in the graveyard. So much so that the Prophet ﷺ, before when he salah, in his last rakat, those who knows how to pray, right, in the last unit of, before he make the salam, he will make a dua. He will ask Allah to protect him from 4 things. And one of the things is protect him from the adab of the qubur, the punishment of the grave, because it's significant. It's very significant. It's very, very difficult, and it's real, right? And there are some people who are being punished in the graveyard for something small in our eye, something small. Once the Prophet passed by the graveyard, and he heard the crying of the people in the graveyard, and he told the companion, he said, these people are being punished for something light. What are the things? He said, for not washing themselves after going to the toilet, after relieving themselves. That's it. And they are being punished, right? So we must take this seriously. B. Events of the Day of Judgment. After the duration of this earth is over, Allah will command a great angel named Israfil to blow the trumpet. At the first blowing, all the inhabitants of the heavens and the earth will fall unconscious, except those spared by God. The earth will be flattened and the mountains turned into dust. The sky will rain for 40 days. People will be resurrected into their original bodies from their graves, thereby entering the third and final phase of life. Yes. So one of the angels, his name is Israfil. Israfil, his task, he has a specific task. His task is to blow the trumpet to signify the end of the world. And then his second blowing will resurrect the people, right? Israfil, during the Isra Miraj, the Prophet ﷺ, when he went up to the heavens, He saw Israfil. He saw Israfil. How did he know he's the Israfil? Because he was holding the trumpet. Yeah. So he knew. He saw Israfil. So when he came back, he told the companions. He said he saw the Israfil, and Israfil has already put the trumpet into his mouth, and he has already taken his breath. And his eyes were looking at Allah, waiting for the signal to blow. This is how near the Day of Judgment. So what will happen is he will blow the end of the world, and then he will blow again, which is the second paragraph. Israfil will blow the trumpet for the second time, upon which people will rise up from their graves alive. The disbelievers and the hypocrites will be caught by surprise and regret, whereas the believers will find it exactly as they were told. So when he blows the second time, everyone will be resurrected. Right? Will be resurrected in our original bodies. This is not our original bodies. In few lessons back we talked about this. Right? So we will be resurrected in our original bodies. Original bodies means the bodies of Adam alayhi salam when he was created very first. We are tall, handsome, women are very beautiful, no defects. Right? There are some people that born with defects, right? But when we are resurrected in our original bodies, there are no defects, perfect. Very tall. How tall? The hadith says about 3-story tall. So very tall. And we will not be at the like resurrected at babies, and so at our age, prime age, right? 33 years old. So the disbeliever will be caught. They will be caught in surprise. They will be, how come this is happening? Right? But for the believers, we already expected. We know this day will come. The angel will drive all human beings naked, uncircumcised, and barefooted to the great plan of gathering called Hashr. The first one to be dressed on the day will be Ibrahim alayhi salam. The great plan of the gathering, he created sun will shine close to their heads, and they will sweat according to their deeds. Some people will be sheltered under the shade of God's magnificent throne. Right. So the angels will drive people to one place, because the earth will be flattened. Right? So everyone will be gathered in one place. And that place is where we will be judged. So the sun will be so close to us. We will sweat. The sweat will flood. Very difficult, as you can see. As you can imagine, the Day of Judgment is very, very difficult. People will be in rows, saffan, in rows, right? Line up. Sun very close. Can you imagine? Here in Malaysia, sometimes very hot. Also, we cannot tahan. Right? On the Day of Judgment, the sun very close. We'll be sweating. But only a few people will be shaded under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he told us there will be 7 types of people. 7 types of people will be under the throne of Allah. Won't get sun. They will get the shade. They'll get the sunglasses. Very nice. No sweating. 7 types of people. Anyone can give me one? No. Just ruler, mashallah. The brother says, a just ruler. A king who is just, very rare to find nowadays. That's why he will get the shade of the throne. Just ruler. What else? The people who give charity hide his charity. He gives charity, but he doesn't tell people, "Hey, just now I donate 1,000 ringgit. Take pictures, put in the Facebook, see how many likes." No, he give charity? Nobody knows. The Prophet says, the right hand give, the left hand doesn't even know. See? Second type. Third type, the people who remember Allah in private, and then he shed tears, he cried. Those sometimes, listen to the Quran, he cries. Or sometimes he just remember Allah when he is driving, he cries. It's the third one. The fourth one, a youth, teenager, grow up worshipping Allah. Wow, very rare to find, right? Teenager normally not nowadays. Allahu Alam, only Allah knows. Teenager growing up, righteous, worshipping Allah. Number 5, 2 people who meet and depart for the sake of Allah. They love each other for the sake of Allah. They fly all the way to somewhere else just to meet this person because he loved him for the sake of Allah. And then the last one is a man or woman. Sorry? I still have 2? Really? Who's keeping count? Just ruler, charity, 2 men meeting each other, cries, what else? Someone who a heart attached to the masjid, who loves to go to the masjid to pray, even when they are traveling. They want to go to the masjid. They like to visit the masjid. And then the last one is a man or a woman. When he's seduced by a handsome man or a beautiful woman, he say no. Like Nabi Yusuf, right? 7 types of people. So what is our target? We don't want to target 1. We are not teenager anymore, right? So -1. So we have 6 to go. We are not king. -1 again. So we have 5. So let's try do 1, and let's be all of us. May Allah make all of us to be under the shade of the throne of Allah. Ameen. Okay. So that's our target. We don't want to get the sun. If you hate the sun in Malaysia, you should hate the sun in the Day of Judgment. Okay? When the conditions will become unbearable, people will request Allah to allow the prophets and the messengers to intercede on their behalf to save them from distress. All prophets will excuse themselves until Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be allowed to intercede, and thus judgment will begin. So on the day, everyone very difficult, right? Sweating, cannot. So they will ask all the prophets, starting from Adam alayhi salam, ask Allah to start Day of Judgment. Ini belum start yet, not yet started yet. The Day of Judgment hasn't started yet. Just gathering only. Just assembly only. So they will go and ask Adam, can you please ask Allah? Adam will excuse. Hadith is very long, we don't have time to go through. So one by one, they go, Nuh alayhi salam, everyone says no. Until Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed. Then he would go underneath the throne of Allah, make a sujood, and then Allah will ask, what do you want? And then he asked Allah to begin the Day of Judgment. And then the beginning of Day of Judgment will start. Alright? So what will happen? The balances. Al-Mizan. Al-Mizan is like a weight. The balances will be set, and the deeds of men will be weighed. These balances will be real. These real balances. So the Mizan will come. So the first thing Allah will do is He'll set the weights. Allah will give the deeds of His creatures a material existence with weight. Good deeds will be placed in one pan, on the right pan, and the evil deeds will be placed in the other one, the left, as Allah has informed in the Quran. So Al-Mizan was mentioned many times in the Quran. So the weight will be set. Alright? There are things that we do, the Prophet ﷺ said, light in the tongue, very light in the tongue, but very heavy in the weight. So some of the dhikr, some of the things that we can say, Subhanalladhi, Subhanallah bihamdi, Subhanallah azim. MashaAllah, thank you, brother. So, very easy, very light in our tongue, but very heavy in the way. So when you are stuck in the jam, don't curse the driver. Do your zikr. Because these are the things that people, forget about it. But it will help us on the day of judgment. When the mizan come, like the Prophet also said, La ilaha illallah. Very heavy in the mizan. So let us do some of these things, and stop wasting our time so that it can help us on the day of judgment. Next one is the records. The records is the book of our deeds. Right? As we have discussed in the belief in angels, there will be two angels on the right, on the left, jotting down all the good deeds and the bad deeds that we have done. So the records will be presented. Disclosure of the records of the deeds performed in this life will follow. The person who will receive his record in his right hand will have an easy reckoning. He will happily go back to his family. However, the person who will receive his record in his left hand would wish he were dead, as he will be thrown into hellfire. He will be full of regrets, as will wish that he were not handed his record, or that he had not known it. Then Allah will judge his creation. They will be reminded and informed of their good and evil deeds. The faithful will acknowledge their sins and be forgiven. The disbeliever will have no good deeds to declare, because an disbeliever is rewarded for his good deeds in this life. Some scholars are of the opinion that the punishment of the disbeliever may be reduced in lieu of his good deeds, except the punishment of the great sins of disbelief. So the books will be presented. Those who receive his books on his right hand side will be rejoiced. Yeah. The one that received in the left hand will regret. And in the Quran, Allah says, when some of them, when they receive in the left hand, they will immediately hide to the back, because shame, don't want to show. They will immediately put to the back. So our records will be presented. So never think that whatever you do, get away, because your angels following you, they don't sleep. They keep recording. So I always tell my daughter, I said, make your right hand angels busy and retire your left angel. Let him get early retirement. Let him withdraw his EPF, never mind. But let your right hand angel busy. Extend his working life. More than 60 years old, never mind, extend. Busy with him, with all the good deeds. Right? So that we will not be shameful. Because the people who receive in the left hand side, they will be regret. They wish they will be dead. Why? Because they know they cannot go back. They will ask Allah, oh Allah, give us a second chance. Send us back. Send us back. So that we can worship you. And Allah says no. Even if I give you a second chance, you will have done it the same. You will do it the same all over again. The Prophet's pawn. Every Prophet will have a pawn. But the pawn of our Prophet will be the largest, sweetest, and with the largest numbers of visitors. Its water will be sweeter than honey, whiter than milk. Its utensil will be as numerous as the stars, and anyone who quenches his thirst once from it will never thirst again. So every Prophet will have a pawn. Because on that day, the sun is very close, everyone is thirsty, everyone will have a pawn. Every prophet will have a pawn. His followers, his people, will get to drink from the pawn. Only those who accepted their messages. So if you accept the message of Muhammad SAW, you will get to drink from his pawn. A Kawthar. Right? You will get, is one of the surah. Surah Kawthar. So you get to drink from the pawn. And you will never be thirsty again. And we also have a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ told us, on the day of judgment, there will be people going to the pond to drink, and then the Prophet will allow them, come, but the angels will stop them. And then he will ask the angels, why did you stop my people from drinking from my pond? And then the angels will say, you do not know what they have done after you have left, meaning after he has passed away. So these are the munafiq, the hypocrites. Right? Next one is the sirat. The sirat is a bridge. Okay, the sirat is a real bridge that will be established over hell, extending between paradise and the fire. Anyone who is steadfast on God's religion in this life will find it easy to pass it. It will be thinner than a hair, sharper than a sword. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a bridge that is thinner than a hair, sharper than a sword? People will pass over it as fast as the blinking of an eye. Some people will pass it like a blinking of an eye. You blink an eye, he passed already. These are people who very righteous, strong faith, and done a lot of good deeds. Some of them will pass like lightning. Shoosh! Which one is faster? Blinking of an eye or lightning? About the same, I think, huh? And then some will pass like a wind. Some like fast moving horses. Some running camels. Or at a normal walking, some like normal walking pace. Some will barely crawl. Some will crawl slowly. But there's a trick. Underneath the bridge, the hellfire is set. The hellfire is underneath the bridge, underneath the sirat. And the hellfire will send his hooks, his iron hooks. So the hellfire will send the hooks, will hook the people from the bridge and pull them down into the hellfire. So some people will get hooked into the hellfire. The one who crosses the sirat will get into paradise. Those who cross it will be assembled at the place between paradise and hell. They will get their mutual debts settled and then allowed to enter paradise. Okay, so let's take a recap. So the day of judgment starts. The mizan, the weight the balances will be set. Then the records will be given. Those who will go to paradise will start to cross the sirat. Okay, those who get the right hand on, they'll start crossing the sirat. Those who start crossing the sirat, some of them will still go to hellfire. Meaning what? Meaning these people eventually, even though they go to the hellfire first, eventually they will crawl from hellfire and enter paradise. Meaning the disbeliever, the people already destined to go to hellfire, will not even have to cross this sirat. They will be thrown into hellfire already, right? So now, after crossing the sirat, then they will reach to a place, and this is the place, the final place, right in front of the doors of paradise. These people will settle their debts. I think we talked about this before. What are the debts? So either you owe money from others, like I owe this brother, for example, I will have to pay him. Using what? Using my good deeds. Remember the records that I have my good deeds? I have to use the good deeds to pay him. Right? That's one. Monetary debts. Second is when you backbite others. In this life, you talk bad things about this brother. Hey, this brother very bad. This brother not good one. You start backbiting him, on the day of judgment, he can claim from you. You backbite me, I claim. So again, you pay using your good deeds. What if you use up all your good deeds already? The Prophet ﷺ said, once he paid up all his good deeds, he doesn't have any good deeds, he start receiving the bad deeds from the other brothers. Let's say I owe him, he will give his bad deeds to me, so that I collect more bad deeds. So some of them will collect so much bad deeds until he will be thrown into hellfire. Can you imagine if you are, this is the real loser. This is why the Prophet said, this is the muflis. You know muflis? Bankrupt. The people who arrive at the door of the paradise and yet thrown into hellfire eventually. May Allah protect us from this group of people. So if you have debts, clear your debts. Debts are very serious to the extent that some of the people who pass away in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, the first thing he will ask before he performed the Salat Janazah, before he performed the funeral prayer, he will ask, this person has debts or not? If he said yes, then he said, anyone who wants to help him to pay? If someone settle his debts, then only then he will perform the funeral prayer for him. One occasion, no one wants to pay, he refused to pray the salat. He refused to pray for him. He would step aside and said, ask someone else, you go pray for him. I'm not going to pray. Yeah. So it's very serious. So don't owe anyone. If you owe, pay. What if you owe and then you cannot pay him back? There's no way is he already. You can give, the scholar says, you can give charity on behalf of his name. Alright? And if you backbite someone, say sorry to him. And if you cannot say sorry to him because he has left you, he has gone somewhere else, for example, then the bare minimum, pray for him. Ask Allah to forgive him. Ask Allah to make him people of paradise. Right? Or say good deeds, say good things about him. Start telling people how good he is. Right? C. Intercession granted to the prophets and the righteous. Allah has clearly explained proper intercession. A. He has to allow it, and B. It will be allowed only to those to those He will be pleased with. Right. So Allah will only grant intercession to number one, He has to allow it. Number two, He only give it to those He is pleased with. Types of intercession. Three forms of intercessions are special for the Prophet. The Prophet here means Prophet Muhammad SAW. The Prophet will make the first intercession. We talked about that, right? He will be the first one who asks Allah to begin the Day of Judgment. This is called the greatest intercession. Number two, the second will be to gain permission for the people of paradise to enter it. So he will ask, the door will ask, who are you? He will knock on the door of paradise, and then the door of paradise will ask, who are you? And he said, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. And then he said, oh, we have been waiting for you. And then the door will open. Then he will be the first one to enter the paradise, and everyone else will follow. Number three, he will be allowed to intercede on behalf of some pagans to get their punishment reduced in hell. So some of the people die as a disbeliever. He asks Allah to reduce the punishment in hellfire for them. One of them is his own uncle, Abdul Muttalib. He asked Allah to reduce his punishment in hellfire. Number four, the last type of intercession will be for those who deserve to be in hell. The Prophet will share his intercession with other prophets and some pious believers. This intercession will be for, number one, those who will never enter hell although they deserved it, and those who will enter hell but will be taken out of it. Yes, so he would be able to pull some of the people out from the hellfire. Right? Allah will ask him, whoever you want to pull them out. So he will be able to pull some of the people out. So what he will do is, he'll see whoever with the sujud mark, right, that has a light, then he will pull them out. He'll command the angels to pull all those with the sujud mark, meaning people who establish the salah. Finally, the most merciful Lord will take some people out of hellfire by His infinite bounty. After everyone has entered paradise, so Allah will also take some people out by His infinite bounty. So some of the people He will also ask, like for example, one of the hadith, one guy will ask Allah, like say for example, if I enter paradise, and then I say, hey, I don't see my brother. Oh, I always see him with me, we go to masjid together. Then I'll ask Allah, where is this brother? And then I'll say, no, he's in the hellfire. And they say, but he always with me, attending classes in Al-Khadim, going to masjid together, helping poor people. And then Allah says, okay, you go there and pull him out. So I will be able to go there and pull my brother out from hellfire. Right? This is out of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after everyone has entered paradise, there will still be some left in it. There will still be some place left in it. Allah will create a special creation and enter them into paradise. So there will be some creation Allah specially created for paradise, right? Like the Hura'in, right? The maidens of paradise. The last section, paradise and hell, both are real, exist presently and will continue to exist forever. The bliss of the people of paradise shall never end, and the punishment of disbelievers condemned to hell shall never cease. So yes, this is real. Hell and paradise are real. They are not symbolic. Because some people say metaphor. It's just metaphor. It's not real. Allah used paradise and hell just to encourage us to do good things, or make us stay away from sin. No, these are real and already existed. They are there presently. And the people of paradise, the enjoyment for the people of paradise will never end. And the punishment for the people of hellfire will also never end. And not only that, the enjoyment will increase every day, improved. The punishment in hellfire also will increase every day. So may Allah make us the people of paradise. Ameen. And may Allah make hellfire stay away from us. Make us not to even look at hellfire. Make us not to even smell hellfire. Ameen. Paradise will have everything a person will desire. All wishes will be met. So to answer your question, sister, just now you asked, maybe all your desire will be, so all your desire will be fulfilled. Palaces, servants, riches, streams of milk and honey, pleasant fragrances, smoothing voices, pure partners for intimacy. A person will never get bored or have enough. The greatest bliss will be to see their Lord, of which the disbeliever will be deprived. Now, of all the enjoyment we are going to enjoy in paradise, the greatest enjoyment is to be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the greatest joy. So, may Allah make us want to see Him, and may Allah make us, greatest joy is to see Him on the day of judgment, in paradise. Because not many people get to see Him. The disbeliever, the greatest punishment is not to be able to see their own Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I think we discussed about this also in the lessons of paradise. Some people get to see Him once a week. Some people get to see Him twice a day, morning and in the evening. So the higher paradise you go, the more you get to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the nearer you get to see Him is depending on how near you line up in the masjid when you go to the masjid. If you like to go to the first saf, the first line always, then you will be in the first line to see Allah. How easy to see Him? The Prophet ﷺ said, if you can see the full moon, just like how you can see full moon, you can see Allah just like that. Very easy. Hell will be a place of punishment for disbelievers and purification for sinful believers. So don't ever think that just because you are believers, you will get to go to paradise straight away, direct flight. Some of them may have a transit, go to hellfire first. May Allah protect us from among these people. So some of the believers, some of the Muslims will still go to hellfire for whatever reason, for whatever sinful things that they have done, for purification purposes, because paradise is mainly purely for the purified. It will have many different types of torture and punishment: burning by fire, boiling water to drink. So we get to drink river of milk, honey. They get to drink boiling water. Scalding food to eat, chains and choking columns of fire. For disbelievers, it will never end, as they will stay in it forever. Sinful believers sent to it will be eventually taken out of hell by one of the intercessions mentioned above. We also have one of the hadith, one of the very long hadith, where the Prophet ﷺ, he told us about the last person who came out from hellfire, who crawled out from hellfire. The last person, when he crawled out from hellfire, he will eventually be entered into paradise, the lowest level of paradise, and he will get 10 times of this world, meaning he'll get 10 worlds. So that is the lowest level of paradise. So the people of hellfire, some of the scary things we heard from the Quran is when the skin was burned and they run out of skin, Allah will create the skin for them again. You know, as you know, science, right? If you feel the pain, it's through the nerve, right? So if you are being burned until bone, you don't feel pain anymore. So Allah will create the flesh for them again to continue the punishment. Very scary. So may Allah make us not among the hellfire and make us the people of paradise. Amen. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Any questions? Any questions? Even if the question is not about this topic, also you can ask, inshallah. Yes, sisters.
Yeah, it says Allah will create a special creation and enter them into paradise. What's this special creation?
Hura'in, the maidens of paradise, the servants of paradise. So everyone will get hura'in to serve you. Yeah. These are some of them. There are also animals, like animals creations, like Buraq is also one of the creation. Buraq is like a unicorn, yeah, without the horn. He has wings, he run very fast. Yeah. There are creations only meant for the paradise, for the enjoyment for the people of paradise. Like I mentioned earlier just now before we start the class, Allah has created a bull, right? Because one of the things that we are going to eat when we enter paradise is fish liver as an appetizer. We will eat fish liver as an appetizer. Like when you check in a hotel, right? They'll serve you something, refresher. We're gonna eat fish liver first. You may not like fish liver here, but the fish liver here in paradise is very nice, right? Then after that, the main dish will be a bull. The bull currently is already created in paradise, and he's grazing the grass of paradise, getting fat. After that, he will be slaughtered and will be served steak. Our main meal is a steak, and then we're going to get drink. So, like the bull is a creation of paradise. Any other questions?
What happens to people who commit suicide?
What happened to the people who commit suicide? In Islam, committing suicide is a major sin. Because Allah is the one who gave us the life. So no one can take his own life except by Allah. Because Allah gave us life, so He can only take our life, right? So He cannot take your own life. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told us the people who commit suicide, they will be punished in the hellfire. And the punishment is very severe. So let's say, for example, he commits suicide by jumping from a tall building, right? A building will be created for him in hellfire, and he will go up and jump and die, and Allah will give him life again. He will go up again, and he'll jump, and he'll continue to do this forever and ever and ever. So scary, yeah. So whatever we do, do not commit suicide. Because there's no, what we call it, the mercy killing, right? There's some country they allow this. There's no mercy killing in Islam. Yeah. Because whatever pain that you're going to go through because of your diseases, you will be able to go through. Allah will not overburden any single soul. So if He gives you this suffering, it is meant for your purification. So you just have to bear with it, yeah, and not end your own life. Yeah. Yes, sister, you have a question.
On Judgment Day, do we can share our good deed to people? For example, I want to share to my parents.
I don't have any text to support this. Yeah, I don't know. But all we know is everyone on the day of judgment will be very stingy to their own deeds, especially the good deeds. Yeah. And everyone would want to buy a place in paradise. It was mentioned that some of them would even give mountains of gold if they have gold. Take, as long as I don't have to go to hellfire, I want to buy a place in paradise. Some would even sell their own children. Come, take my children, take my parents, never mind, take them, as long as don't throw me to hellfire. Yeah, so they will be very stingy with their good deeds. So similarly, in this world, we should be stingy with our good deeds as well, because good deeds can only be preserved. It's easy to do good deeds, but it's not easy to preserve your good deeds, because sometimes you start to brag about it, right? You tell people about it. Oh, just now I donate this. Oh, just now, right? It's a very fine line to encourage people, and between encouraging people and to brag about your own good deeds. Very fine line. So you must always check your intention, your sincerity. Some people say, no, I'm telling this because I want to encourage them to do it. Yes, it's good if that is your real intention. Yeah, but what if they start praising you? What will happen, right? Not many people can handle it. So the people before us, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they used to be very stingy with their own good deeds. Yeah, they will compete with each other to do good deeds. So the Muslims should be like this. It's mentioned in the Quran. Allah says the Muslims should compete with each other doing good deeds. Right? You see someone seek knowledge, you want to seek knowledge also. You want to be better than him. This is the only thing that we can be jealous about. We can jealous of someone who is very knowledgeable and use his knowledge for good. You want to be like him also. You want to rush to do like this. You're not like, oh, he drive BMW, I also want to drive BMW. He drive 3 Series, I want to drive 5 Series. Like that. No, in the dunya, we don't want to jealous of each other. We don't want to compete in dunya. Dunya, never mind. Right? We work hard to seek rizqi from Allah, but we don't compete. Oh, he drives BMW, I want to do BMW. But when it comes to good deeds, yeah, we want to rush, we want to compete, and then preserve your good deeds. Yeah. Good questions. Any other questions? Maybe one last question. No questions. Very good students. Alhamdulillah. I hope everyone learned something. I hope this lesson benefit everyone. It indeed benefits me, because every time when I read about the Day of Judgment, it makes my heart move. Very scary. Because the Day of Judgment is near. Everyone's Day of Judgment starts from death, right? Right? You start with the days in graveyard, right? So everyone's death is anytime. So let's may Allah grant us the understanding of His religion and grant us tawfiq. Tawfiq means understanding and capability to implement what He has commanded us to do, and stay away from His prohibition. So with this belief in Day of Judgment, it should also help us to think twice before we do anything. Sometimes you want to do something, you think first, can this thing help me on the Day of Judgment? Or not? If yes, Bismillah, go ahead. If not, stay away. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. There are some people, they waste time gossiping, waste time doing something which is not going to benefit themselves on the Day of Judgment. Right? And this is why even seeking knowledge, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us there are knowledge that is beneficial, ilman nafi'ah, and there is knowledge that is absolutely not beneficial to us, ilman la yanfa'. Right? So the Prophet ﷺ, he always asks Allah, grant me knowledgeable knowledge, beneficial knowledge, and grant us and make me stay away from not beneficial knowledge. make us busy with something beneficial, especially beneficial on the Day of Judgment. Okay, with that we end this. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.